Hi friend, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to explain about the installation and configuration of Active Directory domain services along basic roles and feature of the Windows Server 2019. So stay with me till end of the video. Please remember to click on subscribe button and like the video for more information. Let's log in to the server using default username administrator and password by clicking on the VirtualBox top menu input button, then keyboard, then insert Control Alt Del. So it will bring us to this window. So we need to give the password. So now we are logging to our Windows Server 2019. This is the new desktop of Windows Server 2019. It will take some time to load the default applications such as Dashboard, Server Manager Dashboard, and Server Manager, which is new function in Windows Server 2019 for the Windows Admin Center. So this is our dashboard of Server Manager. So you see here is none of the service has been installed here. So what I'm going to do here is, first of all, I will change the server name, and then I'm going to give the static IP address to our server. So let's go to System Properties and then check the computer name. This is my server name. If I want to change, I need to click on the change setting, and then this is the computer description. So description and the server name both are different thing. Okay, to change the name of the computer, we need to click on this icon, which is change button, and then here whatever the name we want to give, we can define here. I am assigning the name WS02019M1, and then after that M11. So after that I click OK. Now he's asking me to restart the computer. I will select OK and close this window. I'm going to restart later because I need to configure the IP address first. So now to check the IP address, I will open the command prompt and type the command ipconfig. So he's telling us what is the current IP of address of my computer. So the current IP address is 169.254.240.239. So this IP address is actually given by DHCP server of the virtual machine. So we need to change it to the static IP address first. So how we can change it? Let's go to Ethernet properties. Ethernet, and then go to properties and go to Internet Protocol version 4 properties, and you see here the current option is selected, obtain automatic IP address. This IP address, mean the current machine is getting automatically IP address from the virtual machine. So we need to make it static. So I will choose this option, use the following IP address. So I am giving the server IP address to 192.168.1.2 default subnet mask, and then default gateway 1.1, and then for the loopback address, for the DNS address, I am just putting as the loopback address. Normally the DNS address, we need to give our network DNS or router address or ISP address where the server will basically forward the traffic. So in our case, we don't have any of these addresses, so I am putting the just loopback address. So after I add this information, I am clicking OK and then close. Now I will better to restart the whole this server, so that it will change the name and it will be also take the new configuration of IP address. It's a planned, so I'm going to select the plan, continue. It will take some time. So the computer has been restarted. Now I'm going to log back. So let's check the current IP address now by using the command ipconfig/all. Okay, so you see here, now we have the new IP address 192.168.1.2. So, okay, uh, we are fine to move forward. Now we are ready to install the Active Directory domain services and a domain controller. So first of all, we need to go to the server manager dashboard, and we see here configure this local server because this is the server which we are working now. And then we are going to click on the option add role and feature. So this is the first page. This is the first pop-up window. We have nothing to do here. We just need to click next. From here, we need to choose first option, which is role-based or feature-based installation, and click next. In this window, we can see here, select a server or a virtual hard disk on which to install the role and feature. So basically, we are going to select the first option, which is a select a server from the server pool, and we have to make sure that our server name here is correct and our IP address here is correct. So if these two information are correct, we can easily go further, and there will be no issue. But if these information are not correct, then we have to check these information. We have to correct these two information before we proceed. So I'm going to select next now. So in this window, we can see all the available role on Windows Server 2019. So you see here what we know. We need to choose what we are going to install actually. So I am going to install the Active Directory domain services. So I will click on, and then this pop-up message will become. Then we need to select here add feature. I need to install the DHCP server. I will select add feature. I also need to install the DNS server. I will also add feature. And then another thing I'm going to install is file FSRM, which is the file server resource manager. So I need to expand file and storage services, and again expand file and services, and then I'm going to select this file server resource manager. So again add feature. Once these four options are selected, I need to proceed further, but I'm not going to install any other role. If you want to install any other role, you can install from here Hyper-V, network controller, printer, remote access, remote desktop, and then web server, deployment services, or Windows Server update services. So I'm going to move further now. Next. So we are not going to do anything here. We just need to make sure that group policy management is selected. Next. So here nothing to do. Next, next, click next again. So this is the last window where we are basically will see all the setting and configuration what we have selected. So if there is no error here, then we can click on install button. It will take some time to finish all the installation, so we have to be wait patiently. So you see here the configuration required installation succeed. So we need to click close button, and once we click close button, we need to go here and refresh the dashboard, and after that we will see here one notification. We expand it and it will asking us to promote the server to a domain controller. So just now what we have did, we have configured the role. Now we need to promote this server as a domain controller. So I click on this option, which is promote this server to a domain controller. In this window, we can see three options: add a domain controller to existing domain, add a new domain or an existing forest, add a new forest. So since we don't have any existing domain or existing domain controller, we are going to select the third option, which is add a new forest. So here we need to give the name for the forest. Okay, I am giving the name study.edu.om, and I click next. So now he is asking me to create the password for restore mode. So normally administrator, they can use the same password which they are using for administrator, so that easy for them to remember. So from here we are not going to select any option, just click next. So this window, it will automatically create the net BIOS domain name. So just wait for the server to get the name. So you see here where our domain name is study. So we are clicking next. So here also we don't need to do anything. This is basically the location of Active Directory database file, log file and system file. So click next. And then this is the whole configuration, what we can see here. You scroll down, click next. It's verify the requirement now for the domain controller. If all the configuration are running smoothly, then we will see this sign, green sign with a tick mark. So now we can click install button to install the configuration. It will take again some time, so we have to wait. So you see the installation has been completed. Now he's asking us to restart. The computer is being restarted because the Active Directory was installed or removed. So see it has been installed. So we just close this one also, and then it will be automatically restart. So just wait for the computer, the server to be restart and get back. So now we are back to server. So I'm going to logging back to my server now. You see here, we can see the new domain name here, study/administrator. So now when I will log in, it will be domain user. The administrator will be domain administrator. So I need to give the password, what I set up. So we see now what is the new here. This is our server manager dashboard. If I click here on the local server, so you see here, I can see here my computer name and I have the domain name here. And then this is my IP address, whatever I have configured previously, and these are the other information. Okay, like for example, remote management is enabled, remote desktop is disabled, NIC teaming is also disabled. So we go to tool here, and you see here now we have few options here: Active Directory Administrator Center, domain and trust, model for the Windows, PowerShell, site and services, user and computers. So this is, and then we also have the DICP, we have DNS, and then we have the FSRM, which is File Server Resource Manager. So these are the 4 roles which we have installed now. It has been already appeared here. So now we need to configure it. So mainly we will use these tools, which is Active Directory user and computer, to add the user, to add the OU and control the resources. So if I click here, this window will be loaded. So here we can see Active Directory user and computer. So if I expand this domain, I can see a lot of OU. These all folder are considered as a OU. So now I want to create a new OU. So I right click on the domain and I click here new, and I click here organization unit. So I give the name here to this organization unit, study 1. Click OK. The folder has been appear here. This is basically called as OU. Inside this, I am going to create another OU with the name of users1. So inside this OU, users1, I am going to create 2 users and I will combine them into the one group. So I first create new user. So I give the information of the user here. I give the name user1. So I am adding the information, first name user and the last name 1. So it will be logging name will be user1 and click next. So here I will uncheck this box, user must change the password. I am going to disable it, and I enable these 2 checkbox, user cannot change the password and the password never expire. So now I need to give the password whatever I want to put for the user. Once I gave the information, I need to click next and then finished. So similar that I am going to create another user, which will be the user2. Write the information here, click next. Similar, I am going to add the password here, click next and then finished. So now I want to put these 2 users into one group. So I'm going to create another group now. I'm going to create a group and I give the group name So my group name is study1 users, and then from the group scope I am going to select global, and group type will be security. I click OK. So you see it's appear here now. So I know I want to assign these two user to this group. I right click it and add to group. So he will be asking me which group I want to add. So since I only have one group, so I write the name here and click on the check name. So it's automatically will appear here. I select OK. So it will be say the add to group operation was successfully completed. Okay, so it's mean these two users are belong to this group now. Okay, so we can create a multiple group here, and then this will help us to create the GPO for different group later on when we control that user on the domain. Now I want to minimize the server and I want to move to the window client PC. So from where I will join the window client with this server, and I will use one of these username to log into our domain. So I am switching to the window 8 or window 10 client now. Okay, so this is my window 10 client PC now. I am logging here. So first of all, I need to check the IP address. So I go back to command prompt, and then I type here ipconfig. You see it's again showing us 169.254.243.239. So this IP address we are getting from the DHCP server, which is connecting to the Oracle default DHCP server. So first we will go to the system properties, DHCP IP version 4 Ethernet properties to change the IP address to the static IP address. So again, same thing we need to do. We have to select the second option, use the following IP address, and then from here, so what we need to give here is we need to remember our IP address what we gave on the server. So on the server we have assigned 192.168.1.2. So here we need to give 192.168.1.5 or anything. Then default subnet mask gateway will be similar to the our server IP address, which is 1.1, and then here most important thing, preferred DNS servers. So here we have to add our server IP address, which is 192.168.1.2. Okay, and now we are going to click OK. So make sure that here we have to put our server IP address. So if you forget about it, you can go back to the server and you can check it out. Just to make sure, I came back to the server manager, and you see here on my server IP address is 192.168.1.2. So this address should be my DNS address on the client PC. So this is correct now. I click OK and close, and then wait for the information to be updated. Now I go back to my command prompt and type the command to check the IP address. So you see I'm getting here the IP address 192.168.1.5. So let me check the IP address /all. And then here we are getting the DNS server 192.168.1.2. So now what we need to do is we need to go back to our systems security, and then we need to go to the change setting. And then here to rename the computer domain or change it to the domain, we click on change, and then here we give our domain name, which is the study.edu.om. So I click OK. So he is asking me the server username and password. This is my administrator password of the server and the user on the server, which is administrator, and then password. I click OK now. So you see, welcome to the study.edu.om domain. So it's mean I have been connecting to our domain now. So it will ask me to restart. So just let it restart the PC now. Restart now. So we are back to our client PC. So you see here, now it's showing the name. So let me start with password. So you see here we are connecting to a domain. It's showing here study.edu.om. So now what I'm going to do is I will log off, and then I will logging as a user one, which I have created earlier on my domain. So you see here I can see my user one, which is under domain study/user one. So I have to give the password, And then now I am logging as a user one on my client computer, and then to verify we can check. You see here it is connecting to the domain, okay, and then this is how we basically can create the user, create the resources OU on the server, and then we can log in to the domain using client PC. Thank you very much for the watching. So to verify the information, if we go back to our server and we open this one, the tool, Active Directory Administrator Center, so it will be show us what are the client which is connecting to our domain. So you click here on the domain study local, and then click on the computer, and you see here this is our window client PC which is connecting to our domain. We can also reset the account here. We can also create a group to add them. We can delete, we can move, we can change the properties. So this is how we can control the computer which are connecting onto our domain from the server. So you see here we are getting the full address of the domain address and the computer window client PC details here. So thank you very much for the watching. Please share if you like the video.